Good evening, Facebook friends. This is Lynn Wein MCoy with Taste of Wine, Ministry of Rock of Israel. I am so glad you joined me tonight. I hope you all find me. I have to tell you that I'm running late tonight, and it's because I am making this beautiful pulled brisket, and I've made it in my crock pot, and I had to wait for the other one to get done because this baby takes about 8 hours. My recipe said 6 to 7 hours, and it was wrong. So we had to start a little bit late so I can show you how to pull it once it is done. So we are going to be making pulled brisket. This, by the way, is a recipe that was on kosher.com. So this is a great Shabbat recipe, and I am going to be making this pulled brisket in my crock pot. You can also make it in an oven set to very, very low, about 200, 250, and you're going to let it go for about 3.5 to 4 hours. The crock pot method works just fine for me now that I know my timing. I have, by the way, a 3.5 pound brisket here, and I'm going to wait for a few more friends. And by the way, today I'm not just making brisket, but I'm also making homemade coleslaw. And I even made my own mayo, which took me all of 10 minutes to do, and it's delicious. And I wish that I can show you how to make that today, but I cannot. I won't have time. But also, I am going to be putting my pulled brisket and my coleslaw sandwiches on homemade challah rolls. And so these came out of the oven a little while ago. They are fresh and delicious, and so this is going to be a perfect summer Shabbat meal. And we'll begin in a few minutes. A friend of mine, last time I was on, said, I want to see you dance, because I talked about my husband dancing behind the camera when no one was looking, and that I will groove to 60s and 70s music while I'm in my kitchen. And I don't let a lot of people see me dance, and I'm going to explain why. Oh, my husband's class reunion. Picture this. It's the 30th class reunion. My brother-in-law, they're 10 months apart, my brother-in-law and my husband, they're 10 months apart, so they're in the same class. We go up to Buffalo to Sweet Home's reunion, and we're all having a great time, and at the end of the night, the last song comes on, and it's Brick House. To which I pulled my husband onto the dance floor and I said, oh, we have to dance to this. And then Lynn sprains her hip in the middle of the dance floor. And all of a sudden my countenance changed, and I was limping around, and here I am in a full long dress, and I'm walking back into my hotel room. We were staying in the hotel room, and I just cried because I thought that I had really, really injured myself badly. I ended up in the hospital for 5 hours while my brother-in-law was calling us. Remember, he's in the same class. He's also an anesthesiologist, and my brother-in-law, Craig, said, I am on my way to the hospital, and I said to my husband, there ain't no way having my brother-in-law in the hospital when I feel like this. But anyway, fast forward a few years later, and I was at a house party where they had a band. It was a benefit concert, and it was a huge mansion in Potomac, Maryland. We're talking, this was a house, and they hired a band, and they moved all the furniture, and it was like a ballroom, and we all danced, and we all had, until Brick House came on. And wouldn't you know it, again, I sprained my ankle. So you're not going to be seeing Lynn on camera dancing, because there could be painful consequences. So anyway, I will tell that funny story. Warnings against Brick House. That should come with a warning, especially when you're doing the bump with your husband, because, yeah, bad things happen. Okay, so now we're going to start. And we have a 3.5 pound, by the way, I didn't get to post the recipe. The recipe, I promise you, will be posted when I'm done with this today. Okay, so you'll look forward to that. If there's any questions, maybe my husband can monitor that, or someone can give me a shout and let me know. My co-workers are standing by as well, And I'm just going to get my phone up because I have some recipe info that I want to pass on to you, and I don't want to miss anything. Okay, so this is a 3.5 pound brisket. I'm going to leave the fat cap on here. The fat cap will come off later on when we go to, when this is finished cooking and it separates, and you're going to see that the fat cap comes off very easily. But I like that fat in there, so I'm going to keep it on there. And then we're going to start with our rub. So we're going to take 2 tablespoons. Let's see, I need a bowl. Okay, we're going to take 1 tablespoon of kosher salt. So we have 1 tablespoon. Get my spoon here. All right, 3 tablespoons of brown sugar. That's right here. Okay, 1 tablespoon of smoked paprika. Okay, you want to make sure it's smoked. And we got that going in there. We have a tablespoon of 1 tablespoon of garlic powder. We have cumin. That's a teaspoon of cumin. We have a 1/4 teaspoon of ground pepper, red pepper flakes, by the way, 1/4 teaspoon of that. And I think that's everything in there. So that's our rub. That's all going in there. Okay, just gonna give that a mix. And I'm gonna use my hand just to make sure that brown sugar gets all in there. And this is going to be our rub. Okay, so what we want to do is get this all coated, rubbed all over. And I make a mess. Rinse. All right, so we have our rub here. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is my crock pot, I am going to take 4 sliced onions, and this is going to go to the bottom of my pan, my crock pot. Now this is the crock itself that's been removed. This is going to go into my base unit when I'm done. By the way, these crocks from the crock pot are actually oven proof. You can use this if you have to. Into the oven, it can go up to 400 degrees without the cover on. So that's just an FYI if you do need to use this as an extra baking dish. So then we're going to go ahead and put our fresh rubbed meat right into the pan and get all that extra rub on there. We don't want to waste anything. I'm going to give my hands a rinse. Okay, now we're going to make our sauce. So our sauce, and I'm going to use this pan again. So our sauce has 1 cup of regular Heinz 57 ketchup. We have, let's see here, we have some soy sauce. We have 1 tablespoon of soy sauce. This is actually low sodium soy sauce. And we have cider vinegar. This is actually 1/4 cup cider vinegar. And maple syrup. Yes, this is a 1/2 cup, and this is real maple syrup, okay? And we have our spices. We have a teaspoon of garlic powder, 2 tablespoons of smoked paprika, again, smoked paprika, and then we have 1/4 cup of brown sugar. Mix that all up. This is going to be our sauce. Okay, this is going to go right on top. As this brisket cooks, the sauce is going to thin out, and you can use it as your gravy. There we go. How simple was that? Now, I'm going to go ahead and put this onto my crock pot. And I have this set for 8 hours, which means this is going to be done at 2 in the morning. Told my husband that I said, I'll be getting up at 2 in the morning to finish my recipe. Okay, now, we are not going to come back at 9 to wait for that. We actually have pulled brisket. Oh, yeah. Look at that. So, this is what it looks like. I'm going to bring that camera up a little closer to you. Can you see that? There he goes. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. So, I won't be able to get too close, but I want to show you what I'm doing. This is the pulling part, okay? What we're going to do is take 2 forks, and we're going to shred it. And we want to get some of those onions in there because they've gotten all yummy. Get some of that gravy in there. And we have, oh my goodness, this is so good. Just shredding it between the 2 forks. And it's shredding beautifully. Okay. And I get some of those juices in there. Oh, yes. Okay. Food, glorious food. Okay. Don't you love playing with your food? Okay, there we go. It's all shredded. There we go. Now, we're going to make some coleslaw. Okay, so that's ready. And now we're going to make our coleslaw. So we have, I am going to use, whoops, sorry about the noise. I'm going to just rinse out one of these bowls so I can use it for my coleslaw sauce. Oops, sorry about that. Okay, so now we're going to make our sauce for our coleslaw. All right, and this coleslaw recipe calls for a medium cabbage. What I'm doing here, though, the original recipe calls for about 2 pounds of cabbage. It has carrots in it, and it has some red cabbage as well. What I did was I just got a 14-ounce bag of it pre-shredded, and everything is in here. The cabbage, the red cabbage, the white cabbage, and the carrots. Oops, it's in this bowl. Before we do that, though, we're going to make our sauce. And so we are going to take our Dijon mustard, and this is 2 tablespoons of Dijon mustard. Okay.
Grey Poupon.
What's that?
Grey Poupon.
Grey Poupon. And then we have our apple cider vinegar. Again, we have 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar. Mix that up. we have some, oh, I almost forgot, celery seeds. Let's see. Oh, I already put some out. Okay, so we have some celery seeds. It's on here. I didn't even see it. It's so small. And then we have some salt and pepper, fresh ground salt and pepper, 1/4 teaspoon each. Celery seed is a teaspoon of celery seed, and that's it. We're going to mix that up. Well, not quite it, because we have to add our homemade mayo. Okay, so we have homemade mayonnaise here. Like I said, you can make homemade mayonnaise in 10 minutes. I use my immersion blender. My hand blender works wonderfully. I've never made it before, so I had to try it. Okay. That's right. Okay. I'm going to give it just a little taste and see if it's what I want. It's good. Okay, so we are now going to take this and we're going to dress our homemade, our coleslaw. Okay, I'm going to give this a good toss. Let's see, it's going to use a fork. Oh yeah. I'm going to add just a slight bit of more of my mayo. I have it in a container here and I can't get it open. Homemade mayo. Might need a little more salt. Now I've not put sugar in this, and the reason I haven't put sugar in this is because there's a lot of sugar in the meat. So if you feel like you want to add a little bit of something to it, be my guest. Everyone has their own recipes. And then I'm just going to taste this and get this out of the way and this out of the way. Fork. A little bit more pepper. Okay. Okay, so now we're going to do this. We're going to dress our roll. There you go. We have homemade challah rolls. And I'm going to take, sorry about all that. Okay, see this pulled beef? Brisket, yes. Okay, I'm going to add that wonderful brisket. Let's see if I can get some of that juice from the bottom and the onions in there. Oh yes, oh yes. It's a mess, and it's a beautiful mess. It's a beautiful, beautiful mess. Oh. Yes, indeed. Okay, homemade coleslaw goes on top. And we have, doesn't that look yummy? Husband, would you like a bite?
A little bit later.
Okay, well,
Thanks.
I'm going to taste this together and just see if it's to my liking. Okay. I'm going to do what I'm not supposed to do. I'm going to take a good bite of this. You very rarely see me eat on camera. Mm. Mm. I'm so happy. All right. You're going to have to try this recipe. Is someone laughing at me online?
No, but Peggy's watching.
Okay. This is outrageously good. I can't wait to have dinner tonight, but I want to leave you with Psalm 62, 1 through 2. Now, as you know, I'm Ministries Rock of Israel. Again, I'm Taste of Wine with Rock of Israel. Lynn Wein MCoy is my name. And I am, after all, in full-time ministry. And my goal is to reach as many people as I can, tell them that they can have peace in Messiah. There's really no other way that we can have true peace with God. It's only through our Messiah, Jesus. And it says this in Psalm 62, 1 through 2. And this is our prophets. This is Psalm 62. Listen to what it says. My soul finds rest in God alone. My salvation comes from him alone. He is my rock and my salvation. He is my fortress, and I will never be shaken. So where can you find rest for your soul? We're all a little weary. We're all a little tired. We've all kind of been through a lot in the last 6 months. I want you to know that God is with you. I want you to know that he can be your peace. I want you to know that all you have to do is ask him to come into your heart to be your peace so that you can have a right relationship with him. If you have more questions and we can provide you the answers, go to our website, rockofisrael.org, or go to our Facebook page. You're already there anyway. You might as well leave us a note. Tell us that you're seeking. Tell us that you're searching. Let us know so that we can be able to help you in your spiritual journey. So I hope that you will enjoy this recipe. I hope you'll come back next week because I'm going to be making some fresh challah and show you how to make these rolls. And there'll be another edition of Taste of Wine. So I want to just leave you with the Aaronic benediction. I'm so glad you joined me today for a little taste of wine and a little taste of truth as well. And I'm going to leave you now with the Aaronic benediction. May the Lord bless you and keep you. May the Lord make his face shine upon you and be gracious unto you. May the Lord lift up his countenance upon you, and may he be your peace. He is the Prince of Peace. And I hope you find that peace today, because there is an anchor for your soul. There is rest today. And I hope that each and every one of you who are listening today will know that peace that surpasses all understanding, so that you can say, I don't understand how I receive so much peace. And it's because of our Messiah, Jesus. We want you to have joy, have peace, have a healthy week. May you come back next week whole, healthy, and ready to cook with me. May God bless you and keep you. In the name of our Messiah, amen. God bless you all. Have a great week. Bye-bye.